Super Bowl 59 is officially a wrap as the Philadelphia Eagles win and slay the dragon in the Kansas City Chiefs and stop them from three-peating. So I want to talk about the game and kind of my takeaways for what the Bears could apply from this year's Super Bowl. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate it. The best way to support the channel is through that. All right, so let's talk about this, all right? To me, we could talk about Jalen Hurts. We could talk about the Eagles' offense, and we could talk about all of that. But this game was dominated by the Eagles' D-line in the trenches. Patrick Mahomes played arguably the worst game of his career, and that is really the big story here. Yeah, the Eagles' offense was incredible, and they definitely deserve a lot of credit, but the game changed because Patrick Mahomes repeatedly had pressure in his face, and not just from blitzing, because they didn't blitz, it was from just the front four getting to him. So the game was won in the trenches, and that's the biggest takeaway here. I got two of them. The first one being Ryan Poles should look at this game and just hammer in his head that it is all about trenches, trenches, trenches in order to improve this team. Because the problem that Ryan Poles, kind of had when he took on rebuilding this team was he did not build the team inside out. He built it outside in. He got the receivers, he got the quarterback, he got the skill level players, but he did not get the offensive line and the defensive line. The game is won in the trenches, folks. The reason the Eagles were able to beat down the Chiefs is the trenches. They're better in the trenches than the Chiefs are. Point blank, period. They don't have a better quarterback. I love Jalen Hurts, but let me tell you about Jalen Hurts. If you switch spots and put Hurts on the Chiefs, Mahomes on the Eagles, it's the same outcome, right? Jalen Hurts would lose that game because he wouldn't have time, and it doesn't matter how good of a quarterback you are, and Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, right? We all agree. Some people might not have him in the GOAT debate anymore after this, but that's another conversation for another day. No matter how good you are not going to be effective if you don't get the right protection and if you don't have time. Right? So that's what we see here. So for Ryan Poles' sake, man, I really hope he exhausts every resource possible to upgrade the trenches. We don't need another running back. We don't need skill level players as much. You gotta get the trenches right. That's the big takeaway number one. Takeaway number two also has to do with Ryan Poles, and that is, man, oh man, when you have a good GM, that is a cheat code. Howie Roseman deserves probably more credit than just about anybody that's not a player for the Eagles. Maybe more than obviously certain players, but the way he has constructed this team, I mean, you go into that game, I know the Chiefs, again, I talked about them slaying the dragon and the Chiefs going for a three-peat here, but I thought the Eagles had just as good of a shot to win that game because they're loaded. Folks, Howie Roseman has built a monster of a roster here, folks, from trading for A.J. Brown, right, to being able to, sign Saquon Barkley, drafting Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert, Cam Jurgens, Quinyon Mitchell, like, the list goes on and on, like Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. He just hits on guys. He's able to just basically use every resource possible to upgrade the team. And, like, he's one damn good general manager. So football is the ultimate team sport more than anything. And at the end of the day, even though the Chiefs have maybe the top players are better, like a Mahomes, Kelsey, etc., the Eagles just have a better roster. So when it just comes down to roster construction, just get the better players, man. Talent wins, right? And so Howie Roseman has just built an absolute monster of a team. And again, that's where Ryan Poles has to look at it. He's like, okay, look, I got certain skill level players right. I got the coach hopefully right. I got to go ahead and just continue to build on this team because it's not there yet. It's not good enough. And he probably has to take advantage of the fact that, Caleb Williams on his rookie deal. This is probably the time to go ahead and build as much as possible before you have to pay Caleb. So just take a look at what Howie Roseman did, man. That guy always was making the right moves, never satisfied, always willing to pull the trigger. Like every time I would see like him making a trade or, him drafting a player, I'm thinking, man, Howie Roseman is just running circles around the other general manager. So that's something Ryan Poles needs to do as well. So to me, those are really the two big takeaways I take from the Super Bowl, which is like, look, folks, we talk about quarterback play so much, and it is true. You definitely need a good quarterback, but football is the ultimate team sport. The Eagles won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. He played one hell of a game, but they won with the backup quarterback, and they won with Jalen Hurts, who I don't consider a top, 5 quarterback, top 3. Certainly, I take Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Josh Allen all over him. So you don't necessarily need a top 5 guy either. You just need to go ahead and be good in the trenches, and you got to go ahead and, make the right moves as the general manager and hit in the draft. That's the main thing. Hit in the draft and make the proper moves in free agency to complement the roster. So that's really what I'm looking at with Ryan Poles here, and hopefully, we're in a position soon where we're playing in the big game and hopefully winning one. So we'll see. But let me know what you guys think. What were your biggest takeaways from this game? Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for watching.